I used to have so much, oh, we can't do this because I didn't go to fashion school. I didn't go to business school. And I'm like, I'm just as smart as someone that got their MBA at Harvard. I can play in this game.
Hey everyone, you're listening to Superwomen. Today's guest I came across when I saw her amazing collaboration and thought, oh my God, I have to have Hart's jewelry. She is the founder of Hart, shophart.com. We get into the meaning behind the soul of a brand. We get into the dark ages of what it's like to be a mother, a founder, a wife, but also the grit it takes and how being true to yourself is ultimately what is going to make you win. Take a listen.
There's a delicate balance of letting things go and understanding that rejection is redirection.
There's a creative way to do everything, but I feel like any legacy jewelry brand that's out there today, they're like, you don't like silver and gold? Well, guess what? We're going to keep making it.
There is a lot of pressure for newness. It's a good way to grow. It's like one of the levers that you can push. I just always have to go back to my filter of like soulful, timeless jewelry. All of this magic and storytelling and meaning, I don't want it to be relegated to the fine jewelry world. I want to be able to give that meaning to people.
I'm Rebecca Minkoff, and this is Superwomen. Each week, inspiring women are interviewed to uncover the unexpected journeys, the challenges, and the unwavering spirit that makes them powerful. Get ready to be motivated by stories of resilience and discover the keys to unlocking your own potential. All right, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. We are christening my studio.
It is beautiful. You should be really proud. It's gorgeous. I just want to like take a nap in here or something.
I know. It's like a womb. It's like a warm, calm space.
So good.
So let's talk about jewelry today and your journey. We're not going to get into your backstory because guess what we discussed last night?
Yeah, you can Google it.
Let's Google it.
Let's just Google it.
I was honestly so refreshed when you said that last night because I have to tell my origin story a lot. And I'm like, just fucking Google it. Like, aren't you sick of hearing the same? I know Hannah's sick of hearing the same shit.
And like, I'm here to talk about things I haven't talked about before. So
that's right.
Yeah.
So I discovered you when I saw that you did a collab with RMS. And I was like, I am obsessed. Like a locket with some like amazing lip color in it. Like I'm in. And then our teams connected. And I didn't know this about you, but you were in Shanghai when you thought about what became your career. So can we start there?
Well, I grew up in Charleston and then I majored in Chinese and sociology at Vanderbilt. And fast forward, I studied abroad in Shanghai, fell in love with it. It was the recession. So I moved there and I started working in fashion. I was working as a fashion editor, actually. It was really cool. Such an education, made so much fun. And I discovered these tassels at these fabric markets we would go to. And at the time, I was like obsessed with Isabel Marant. And I was friends with a lot of these like very cool French girls. So I started making them into tassel earrings. And this was like back in 2012. And I would literally just like get them made with like a little hook and some like a lighter. It was very, very, JV. And I kept selling them on the side. And then I was living in New York after I left Shanghai, and I would wear my earrings to work and people would stop and ask me about them. And I actually got fired from my job. That's
because
a different story.
Or is that separate?
No, okay. I was over my skis. I was underqualified. It was not, I was working at Milk Studios. It was a fantastic job, but it was like, that's a whole other story.
Okay. But anyway. I appreciate that you said that you were unqualified because so many people are like, I got fired and I'm amazing and how dare they? But you're like, I wasn't qualified for the gig.
I mean, it wasn't entirely my fault. I think there was like some poor management, but whatever. It's made me a better boss. And it was definitely the universe pushing me back into doing my own thing. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and give these tassel earrings a go. And I was naive enough to think that I could be the Warby Parker of tassel earrings. And I was. And I did this for like 3-4 years. I sold almost 200,000 pairs of these earrings. We still carry them today. But then I got a little tired of just telling the same thing over again. And so in around 2019, I saw an interesting gap in the market with jewelry. And that's where I pivoted into gold-plated charms and pendants and stuff like that.
So I want to touch on the idea of the Warby Parker of tassels because as, when I was starting, I was known for one thing.
Yes.
It was the morning after
bag.
And like you're
Iconic.
riding this wave. And then you're like, oh, okay, I got to come up with something else. This can't last forever. And that moment is like exciting and terrifying at the same time because it's like, what if it doesn't hit?
It's really tricky. Like, how do you evolve and thoughtfully expand your line And I think it really comes back to just having like a unique point of view and really going back to yourself and what is it that feels super meaningful to me, and not just what's a gap in the market. And I know that word authenticity is so overused now, but I think that the success of the charms, it was two things. On one hand, we filled a very big gap in the market, which by the way still exists today, which is high quality fashion jewelry that's durable, well made, and soulful, but at a good price point. And on the other hand, the other part of that like Venn diagram is that it came from a very authentic personal place for me. I've always been obsessed with jewelry as like this like anthropological perspective of how it's like a tool for self-expression. People, no other fashion product has as much intimacy and soul. People have been wearing jewelry for eons about, to connect to a higher power, to honor loved ones, like to call in something. And when I looked at the fashion market, you would see like, you've got soulless garbage, honestly. It's like going to end up in a landfill that's mass produced.
And it breaks after the first wear.
Right, or tarnishes. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got beautiful fine jewelry, antique jewelry, solid gold, but it's very expensive. It's not for everybody. And I'm like, why isn't there something in the middle? And so that's what I put my focus on in 2019, which, by the way, when I was pregnant with my daughter and I didn't know it at my first jewelry trunk show. And I feel like there's something there about like, I don't know, I always say like babies are like good for business because you're just in that like creative energy,
Yes. I remember I felt like my most strong. I was like pushing a sled 8 months pregnant, like for weightlifting. And I was like, I'm woman. I'm strong.
I saw your Instagram about like how you took your babies all around the world, like
oh my gosh,
to factories. I did not do that. Like, that's amazing. You were a superwoman for
well,
sure.
I just decided if I'm going to have a baby and then I'm breastfeeding and I'm pretty psychotic about that they had to come with me because like I had a scare once where I went to get on the plane with the milk and they wouldn't let me through and I was unwilling to give up my milk. So I was like, fuck it, the baby's coming. That'll just be a lot easier than the stress of like Korean Air not letting me take my milk on the plane.
I can't believe it. I'm just so happy to be here. I look up to you so much.
Oh, well, I'm happy you're here. And I just love that you do fill a gap because I feel like today with the world as it is, with the price of gold,
yes,
like jewelry can be very unattainable.
Yes.
That's meaningful and sentimental. And I feel like you have this sentiment to your jewelry that is also attainable. Like you can, like I like to say, like you can buy my bag and you can still eat. You can wear your jewelry and buy your jewelry and still eat.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I've always been obsessed with manifestation and spirituality. And again, like going back to the history of jewelry as like having this talismanic property. I literally have notes in my phone about like different charm ideas. And it's usually something that I need to work on myself. Like we have a charm that says, let go, like let go or be dragged. Like that's something I struggle with sometimes. Or, we have a charm about, gosh, there's so many. Why is this like, I could just go on forever.
It was really hard to choose.
Yeah. That's probably our biggest problem is like, how do we rein it in and like focus? Cause I have a million charm ideas, but it's also, that's the fun of it.
Hey everyone, sorry for the quick pause. I want to share something really exciting. Superwomen has a brand new YouTube channel. It's still under construction, but big things are coming in 2026. You'll find past episodes, new episodes, and some bonus content I cannot wait for you to see. Just search Superwoman Media on YouTube and hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Okay, back to the pod. So I do want to get into the business because you've been around for 10 years. There's a lot of people out there, especially those listening that are like, wow, year 1, year 2 is hard. Like, can I keep going? You have 4 stores with 5 on the way.
Yes.
And I think that most people, obviously, they see where you are now, but I'd love to touch on the hard work. Like you made the pivot from, okay, I'm no longer the Warby Parker of tassels to charms.
Right.
Take me to that ugly middle.
I call the ugly middle the dark ages. It was 2020. I had 2 babies almost back to back, 17 months apart in COVID.
Oh my gosh. God bless you.
I lost one of my best friends to cancer. It was a really hard time. It was also the time that the business really demanded a lot of me. And the messy middle for me and Curry, my sister and my business partner, is when the business was growing, but we didn't have the team in place to support us. So it was like whack-a-mole. And it was also putting a lot of stress on me and her to, I would be like, working on a design document or whatever, and then I'd have to be pulled in for like a private shopping appointment at our little store because we didn't have enough people or something. And that was a really tough time. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was really hard. I think partly too, because my baby like was not a good sleeper. And so I was really running on a lot of not good amount of sleep. And I think what's interesting is when I wasn't really doing well personally, the brand did suffer a little bit, even though we did have tremendous growth in that year. When I look back at the creative, the photo shoots, when I look back at some of the designs, they're not as strong as they are now. And I think it was because I lost myself a little bit. And it's so important to stay in tune with your intuition and with what's your why? What is your unique perspective? And I remember at the time, like we were doing some photo shoots and I was like obsessed with Cezanne and their website. And I was like, we need to have our website look like Cezanne's website. I love Cezanne. It's a beautiful brand, but it's not my brand. And a lot of the photos that we took were light backgrounds and the models were wearing, kind of cutesy, simple clothes. And it was very like airy and it looked like Cezanne. And it was very commercial. It worked, I guess. But now for these photo shoots I'm planning, I'm like, let's get fucking weird. Let's like layer on all the jewels. Let's put some weird like antique skulls in the photo. Like that's who I am. And it just took me time to get back there and get that support. And only advice I can give is just you got to power through it. And it's like this ugly chicken or the egg situation, and that it's hard to stay in tune with that inner voice and like who you are. And especially when you're kind of pulled in a lot of different directions with the business and stressed out. And really, the way I got out of it was we just kind of had resilience and we were able to hire people. And as you know, like hiring is a lot of work, finding that person. So I think you just have to power through it and find the right people to support you and not feel guilty about hiring people. Like Curry and I are very conservative with our cash flow and we've always been really scrappy. We don't have outside funding. And so to bring on like a $80,000 manager or $60,000 salary, it was like, oh my God, But of course, when that person came on, it enabled us to do our jobs better and it begets more success and productivity.
I think the hardest part for any founder is if they're choosing to have kids and they're in that middle point where they don't have enough money to hire out. Like we have to brainwash ourselves that somehow it's going to be easier. Like that nexus of I'm having babies, not big enough to provide support for myself. It's like you did lose yourself. I lost myself because it's more demanding than anything I think anyone anticipates.
Sure. I mean, and you had 4. Like I remember folding laundry and, my husband and I were thinking about having a third and I was folding laundry and I had my baby, my oldest, my husband's. And like, I was thinking, wow, if I had a third child, that would be more laundry and more time. And it was like this very visual moment where I'm like, I'm tapped out. Like, I'm good. I'm very blessed. We're going to shut that door. And now, I don't know, I'm just in a whole new era with work and I'm so grateful for it. I just feel like I'm really just now getting started about like who I am and what our goals are and where we want to be. I'm just so amped up and like ready to, grab life by the balls. Let's do this.
Well, it's nice to know. And I think other women hearing this, like you can have that rebirth several times.
Yes.
Not to make this an analogy to women that have multiple orgasms. I'm not one of them. But like in work and phase, you get to have like the multiple hits at this energy and excitement. Like I had a friend last summer, but he's like, why are you working so hard? Are they like slave drivers to the people that bought the company? I was like, they don't ask me to do anything. This is all me. And just like you, it's like this revival of like, I want to go back. I'm ready. I'm through the like foggy years of like toddlers and babies and like, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
And it's fun because you have the maturity and the perspective and the like, I'm here. I'm not at risk of going under.
It's interesting. I feel like once we hit a certain revenue point, I don't know. I remember thinking, I think we're going to be okay. Like we can't underestimate the power of how long a brand can stay, the power of the longevity of in the marketplace. I feel like we're starting to have that recognition. People like you are willing to have me on their podcast.
Come on. Don't say it like that. Give yourself more credit.
Okay. Sorry. This is something I'm still working on, by the way. Can you tell? Imposter syndrome. But, like now we have big brands coming to us to do collaborations and it just kind of snowballs and you have to just stay in the game. You have to stay in the game. You have to have resilience. And I think one of the biggest like lessons that I have learned, and if I could impart any advice, is like just the power of figuring it out. Some executive business coach, he said that like all of his top clients, they're, Fortune 500 CEOs, they all have one thing in common. And not just CEOs, but like founders. They all have this unwavering belief that they can figure anything out. And what's interesting is that because those people have that belief, they're willing to go into uncharted waters where someone who doesn't have that. So they're going to naturally put themselves in marketplaces or situations where like, I can do this. And we've had so many challenges along the way, but we have figured things out. And so really, I'm just building up my trust muscle. It's like, all right, like, yeah, let's open a store and untuck it. Like, we'll figure it out. Or so.
I feel like my next book is going to be called We'll Figure It Out because I fully identify with that sentiment of like, we put ourselves in uncharted waters because we're like, at least we'll figure it out. We'll get some garbage and learn how to swim and like, or stay afloat or whatever.
Right,
Do you know
right.
what I mean?
And like, also, the more I'm here, the longer I'm in this industry, I'm like, I'm just as smart as anybody else. I used to have so much like, oh, we can't do this because like I didn't go to fashion school. I didn't go to business school. And I'm like, shit, I'm just as smart as someone that got their MBA at Harvard. You know what I mean? Or like, I can play in this game. And my hope for my girls is like, I instill that confidence in them from an early age. Like, you're not better than anybody, but you're just as smart and you deserve a spot at the table.
Yeah. And you don't have to follow the prescribed path. Like there isn't one way, like it's a fingerprint, right? We're all unique. And to me, there's no replicatable path that you can do like anybody else.
Right. There's also a benefit of not having like a proper business or design background. Like I'm doing a lot of this on intuition. And every time I don't follow my intuition, or, you know, like you hire an expensive consultant because, you know, that's what you should do.
Right.
It's like, it doesn't.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've made some big wrong hires in that. And I was like, she has a doctorate?
Right.
She has a master's.
Right.
I have nothing.
Right.
I have no degree.
I've had a few examples where just my alarm bells were going off and I didn't listen to them. But you know, I've lessons learned. So.
Lessons learned. And to me, like those, as much as they suck, those are the most things that you get the most value. So I'm always trying to be like, when I'm in the middle of shit swimming, I'm like, there's a lesson here.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
Is it? Let me decode it.
Right.
And it helps me get out of my head of like, why did this happen to me? What did I do wrong? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, what's the lesson?
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of like being a business owner too, there's a delicate balance of letting things go and understanding that like rejection is redirection, but then also like fighting back and not accepting no for an answer. Like, for example, we've been trying to find a lease in Charlotte, and we'll get really close and then something will happen and it will fall through. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, that's the universe saying that's not the right store for us. So like, let's find something else. And then my sister's like, no, I'm calling this person 10 times a day, and not 10 times a day, you know, politely, but like having that resilience, like there's a delicate balance there.
There's a huge delicate balance because you could say it's a sign, or you could be like, actually, no, it's not a sign. I just have to push through. Yeah. And it's knowing when. Like we had a store in San Francisco that didn't work because it was the complete wrong part of town for our demo. Like
where was it?
We were on, I don't even know the name of it. It was an area for like very wealthy, affluent women who buy Chanel. Let's just be honest, right? So I could say, well, it was a sign. But no, we like didn't do our proper business.
Yeah, no, data is important.
I want to talk about style because you and I shared this last night. Like, I don't think about my ear stack when I'm doing it. I just feel like it feels good. Or like you came to dinner last night, or how you're accessorized now. But people are always asking me like, how do you do your ear stack? And I'm like, I don't know.
Intuitive. Yeah, you just kind of throw it on.
So many people don't know how to do it or how to put things together. So we did a pre-selection just for everyone listening.
Yeah.
I went on the site and I picked out all my faves. It was very hard. And I would love for you to talk me through your methodology, even if it's intuitive, like help me help them.
Okay.
So I'm going to put this on my lap.
Okay, great. So a good necklace stack is all about, I mean, it's following the same rules as like a great room with interior design or a great outfit. You want to be mixing and matching different textures, materials, color. I mean, if you're more minimal, then, you know, like...
Then don't do that.
Don't do that. But if you want like a really cool stack, I would say just pulling back and having different materials, color, texture, length. So let's start with like, why don't you do the pearls? So right now, Rebecca has in front of her a strand of our pearls. I call these the cool girl pearls. They've got this like kind of knotty potato pearl. They're just like bohemian and cool.
They're not like your prissy Upper East Side grandmother's pearls, which is why I like them, because I hate, that's why I don't wear pearls. It's because they're always like so
Well, this
prissy.
is the ultimate compliment because it really is like, yeah, it's our cool girl pearl, and our clasp has a clip on it so you can add a charm or not. So we've got that. So that's like high up on your neck. And then I would probably throw on like a longer necklace with that to counterbalance. And so you have our long link paperclip chain, and we've designed this as a lariat. I put the charms on the bottom. You got like the large matchstick, the horseshoe, but I like how that's going to draw the eye down. And then I want to throw on like some color for you because you're mastering the mixed metal, which is very cool with your silver necklaces in there, and your tennis necklace.
I got to take the silver one off though, because then I feel like, you like it?
I think it's cool. Like,
okay.
I think it goes.
Okay.
So we just launched our turquoise tennis necklace, and I'm so obsessed with this.
It's so good.
I wear it to Pilates. I wear it to dinner. I love this necklace. The color is just so good, and it just really works on everybody. It works beautiful with metal as well. And so I think, yeah, so you want to have a pop of color. I would even clasp that shorter.
Tennis one?
Yeah, so one reason why our tennis necklaces are really unique is that I add an extender on them. For some odd reason, a lot of tennis necklaces don't have extenders, but we're all about like having variability and modularity within the jewelry system. So like you can wear it at different lengths. Okay. Then yes.
Which color? Green or yellow?
I think that the chartreuse yellow would look really rad with the turquoise.
Okay.
Like, let's like lean in.
We're leaning in.
I think it's cool. And it's one of those colors that just kind of goes with everything. And then if you're feeling really rock and roll, that's our Lurex cord. We sell tens of thousands of these cords. People are obsessed with them. We have them in all sorts of colors. The gold Lurex one, I love to wear this double wrapped like a choker.
Ooh.
Yeah, you could even wear it as an anklet or a bracelet. That's what I would do. Am I
wearing it as a choker right now? Or should I do it long?
Actually, maybe go super long. Okay. I would go super long.
Okay. So I read somewhere, and I don't know that they're the authority, but like minimalism in jewelry is over, which I'm happy about because now we can layer.
Yes.
And if you follow Shop with Caroline, she is like never not minimalist.
I know.
And I'm like, I think she started it. She made it okay to like layer.
I'm so excited about this, the pendulum swinging back from quiet luxury. Quiet luxury is such a bummer to me. Like, let's have some fun. Let's not take everything.
Life's too fucking hard to like be quiet about the shit that you're proud to buy.
Yes, for sure. I wouldn't always say more is more. Like, I do think there is like a balance, and that's where coming in with like the mixed materials and different lengths. And one of the things I'm so proud of, like the last evolution of the brand, is like we used to be just known for this loaded charm necklace look. But what I've been focusing on in the last year or two is slowly expanding I think of it as like a toolbox or a painter's like palette. Like, how do we add pieces to the collection that enable women to have more self-expression with the jewelry? So one day I want to wear color. One day I want to have like a more traditional pearl look. Like, it's all about just having this mixing and matching. One more thing I'm like so proud of is the modularity. Like, no one else is doing this in the industry, in our category, where it's all about being able to slide one charm off of one necklace, putting it on the pearls, or sliding it on a cord, taking things off. Like, today I want to channel abundance or letting go. Like, I'm going to slide that charm on today. Or like, I'm going on a business trip. I'm going to pack my Vesta case locket and put a note from my husband or my kids inside, or a Xanax, like for that scary flight.
No, just take melatonin. Take some ashwagandha. Can we touch on the symbolism and meaning? You said last night that growing up, you grew up in a family that talked about spirituality and metaphysics a lot. And you can feel that. And this is not me sounding like an ad, but like you can feel it in the product.
You. That's the nicest compliment.
Well, it's true. It's like, this looks like an old world piece that like my grandmother gave me. Aww. I showed you what I'm melting down from my grandmother because it's not looking like this.
Yeah.
And so talk to me about the meaning that you imbue in each piece.
I mean, like I said earlier, I've always been obsessed with manifestation, the power of our mindset, spirituality. I will read spiritual books like Eckhart Tolle, or even like The Secret, and thinking about the power of like the law of attraction. I'm coming out with a large magnet shaped charm in the fall with like stars on it, and it's all about the law of attraction. It's so cool. So it just comes from a very natural place of me being curious about the cosmos and our place in it, and humility, and wanting to practice those beliefs and like wear them on my sleeve, but also not be too serious. Like there's always going to be a playfulness and a wink to what I'm doing. Like we are not like
getting too deep.
No, like
No.
I don't want
No one has time for that.
Well, I mean, I think it's, yeah, like we're not going to have a charm that has like karma on it. Like I want it to always have a little bit of like woo woo, but not overly serious.
Yeah, I will not name the brand, but I had something, and when I got it, it was like a paragraph of like what it meant. And I'm like, that's so cool, but I just like it, and I like the 1-2 word of what it meant, but not like
Yes.
we
Well, you can
connected.
also assign your own meaning to things too, right?
Yeah.
So like I'll design a heart and people are like, well, what does this mean? And I'm like, love? I don't know. Like sometimes I just want like a big heart, but about leading with your heart. So I love looking at vintage jewelry too. So the perfect example is like the Vesta case that you're wearing. This is like I love antiquing. It's like my happy place. Like put me in a junk store. I will spend hours like looking, and I love collecting antique silver and also sterling silver jewelry. So I found these pieces that are called Vesta cases. And, in the 1800s, women of houses would wear them on their belts, and they would keep matches inside. So it was a match holder because they didn't have electricity back then. So they needed easy access to matches and striking them to light candles and lanterns and whatnot. And so you can find these antique Vesta cases, and I found one that had very similar look to the one you're wearing, like the vertical ribbing. It just looks so modern and timeless. I'm like, wait, this would be the most amazing charm. And so on one hand, I've got antique design, but then I want to infuse it with this cosmic, mindfulness and spirituality. And so the message behind it is what lights you up. So instead of matches inside, like carry inside the thing that makes you, like light your fire. So that could be like a manifestation list. It could be notes from your kids. It could be a love note. It could be a little wish that you have for yourself, a mantra. And when we launched the Vesta cases, we have a few now, we put a little section in our stores, and they've been really popular with little scrolls and paper. So when people buy a Vesta case, we like send them over to the little scroll area, and they sit down and write a message. And it's been a big Valentine's Day hit or Mother's Day hit for us as well. Like husbands will come in and have their kids write notes.
I love that.
Yeah. So
I love that it's like a new take on a locket,
Yeah.
with like, it holds more than a locket because that's just a picture.
It's just a picture.
I
Right.
love that. I think one of the most thoughtful gifts we got for our wedding was 25 $10 bills, so $250 rolled up with a message from the guy in each bill in this beautiful antique vintage box. And I was just like, well, I'm never going to spend the money because I'm not going to unroll it. But like that he imbued the gift with something thoughtful. And the Vesta case reminds me of that, but you get to wear it.
That's so thoughtful. See, it's like all of this magic and storytelling and meaning. I don't want it to be relegated to the fine jewelry world. And it's beautiful in the fine jewelry world. Listen, like if I could have this in solid gold, I would. I think it's fabulous. But the reality is that it's not attainable, especially now with the cost of gold. Like the necklaces I'm wearing would be, up to $20,000. And so like, I want to be able to give that meaning to people who aren't ready or don't really want to spend that money on solid gold. I remember I was scrolling Instagram, and some jewelry influencer was like shitting on gold plated jewelry. And she's like, oh, like, don't waste your money. Only buy solid gold. And I'm like, girl, it is so expensive, especially now. And, it's actually made our business, it's been really challenged in the last few years because like we use real gold in our plating. We're not using a tone. Like our costs have gone up a ton, and we constantly have conversations about, should we raise our prices? How do we do this? Like it's been really tricky, but I really want to just keep offering that attainability. And it's still expensive, by the way. It's not a cheap purchase, but my goal is for you to have it for decades with proper care. And that's the thing that keeps me up at night. And I like tell other business owners is like, you can put lipstick on a pig, but like at the end of the day, if you do not have a good product, you don't have a good business. And there's so much out there now with marketing and, just like flashy whatever. And to me, I'm just constantly thinking about product. Like that's what keeps me up at night. Our sourcing, our supply chain, our quality. Like if you don't have a good product, like you don't have anything, but it means a slower build over time.
We have to
And
stop chasing the drugs of it has to happen overnight.
yeah. And like your bag, like it was a perfect, beautiful design. Like it took off for a reason, not just because that was before like big influencer culture. So I just having like efficacy and integrity is like to me like the number one thing that drives me at work.
And I think if someone is listening, like to hold true to that, if that can be your like North Star throughout everything, it's so critical because you could give in, and we did, and we paid for it, to like different whims, or maybe we change, or maybe we alter. There's a creative way to do everything. And again, you might grow slower because of it.
I'm challenged with that right now because there is a lot of pressure for newness because it's a good way to grow. It's like one of the levers that you can push. But I just always have to go back to my filter of like soulful, timeless jewelry. So like, okay, yeah, if we want to do a fun kind of colorful earring for summer, like how do I make sure that it ticks those boxes for us that like doesn't, because I really don't want to just be producing things for the sake of making things. I really want to make sure that it lasts and has longevity in terms of style, but also durability.
But I feel like any legacy jewelry brand that's out there today has done that, Like when you look at, I don't know, a David Yurman, like they just stayed the course. They're like, you don't like silver and gold? Well, guess what? We're going to keep making it.
No, that's really great advice. That's really great advice.
So where are your stores so people can go shop, and tell us the website everywhere, all the places?
Our website is Shop Hart.
Hart. For those listening.
Hart. It's my name. Shophart.com. Our Instagram is Shop Hart. We're on TikTok. Our flagship is in Charleston, my hometown. We have a store in New York, in Nolita on Elizabeth Street. We have a store in Nashville on 12 South. And we're opening one in Nantucket. And we also have 3 full-time women who are doing trunk shows. And they travel all over the country, everywhere from like Oklahoma City to LA to Detroit to Boston, like Charlotte, you name Atlanta. Like we have a team that's like dedicated to bringing like our experience in person. You can build custom on our website. We've spent a lot of time and money and headaches and tears on building this like custom interface where you can like, we call it the drag and drop, where you like drag and drop your chain so you can make it. And everything is assembled in Charleston, like 10 feet from my desk. It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all
That's
fulfilled
nice.
out of our headquarters in downtown.
I think there's something beautiful about being where you are as a business owner in 10 years in, and like you can still see the sausage being made, because like for me, it's been detached. It's like, and I think to still know that the founder is that close to the product that's hitting my neck is really special.
It's so important. We've thought about separating the fulfillment, but right now it really works. And I walk past our customer service person every day, like hearing what people are complaining about, what they're happy about. And also like it's really important to me that I visit my factories. So we just did a big trip to India and Thailand. Like they say that they've got all these, eco-friendly certifications and they treat people well. But like, I was like, I need to see this in person. And it was so amazing to go there. And I plan to go back in the fall. And it's also fun. One of the guys from India is coming to Charleston. I'm cooking him dinner at my house. It's a real partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it so special. And I think when you meet the people working in the factory, like people like, oh, factory workers in China. No, I met them. I saw the play area where their kids are like, get to have daycare. And like when you see them and you see this human who's making it, you're even more connected to the mission and the product, because you're like, wow, someone's making a living off of what I'm doing too.
Yes. And yeah, I loved my time in China. It was such a cool experience. And anyway, yeah.
So I do want to touch on something we talked about last night, is being the face of the brand.
Yes.
And we are different acceptance points in that journey.
I know.
Whereas I'm
it is a journey.
I'm all in, the content, the design, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you're like, hell no, don't want to do it. And I'm like, you're going to have to.
Gosh, I know.
I hate to break it to you.
No, my poor team. It's like whenever we talk about content and me, like I feel like I'm in a therapy session and they have so much whiplash where I'm like, all right, I want to do it. And I'm like, no. But I remember listening to an interview with the founder of Poppy, and she was explaining how like she was going on TikTok every day. She was explaining why her brand was acquired and how it was so successful. And she was like, TikTok. I was on TikTok every day. And she basically turned her life into a reality TV show, and she's the star. And that's just not, at first when I listened to that episode, I was like, well, fuck. Like, if this is my only way, I'm really kind of depressed about this, because that's just not my nature. Like, I'm willing to do it, but it's like, I don't feel joy from it. Whenever I'm filming a ton of content, I don't often, sometimes I do, but I don't often feel like, wow, that really filled me up. And it's about going back to authenticity. You have to like do what naturally feels good to you. So I did a lot of soul searching about this, and I have to show up. I want to show up. I'm really proud to be the face and the name of my brand, but I don't want to, I was like, I'm not going on TikTok. I'm not dancing. I'm not doing like, outfit changes or whatever. But where I will show up is like what feels good to me, which is Substack. I love writing. I've always been a decent writer. And then like on my Instagram, I just have very specific ways that I do it. And then also like being on podcasts or panels or showing up at store events. Like I love connecting directly with customers. So I think I'm never going to be fully away from it. But what I have told my team is that I'm no longer the recurring star. I'm like an occasional cameo. And I think what it's going to do though is ultimately force stronger creative, at least for my business. And like, all right, we need to do a story about how to style cords. Well, like Hart's sitting right there. Like, let's hop her in front of the camera. But it just kind of, sometimes it feels like dance, monkey dance, like anything else like that. That's on me. Like I have to be able to tell my team and show up and be like, you know what? That's not your fault. Like I have to express how I want to show up. And so ever since I've put those boundaries but also you can't just say, I don't want to do that and not offer something instead. And so I've been really building up my Substack and showing up for other things that feel more authentic and also just fill up my cup and don't make me feel like, oh my God, like that was a lot.
Mad respect, because I think that your lane is correct. And then there's the lane that I'm in that's also correct. But again, it goes back to our fingerprints, and our journey is going to be different. And that's what's beautiful about everyone's path is it's like, I love it. No. And I'm going to strive to achieve that.
But if that's what makes you happy, but like, if it's working, then do it. It's just like,
I know.
And I tell people, like, if you're founding a brand and you've got a lot of charisma and you love being on camera, you are in luck. Because like
the right time.
Basically, like if you're a brand, 95% of what you're doing is content and 5% is product. I mean, that's hyperbole, but it's true. I mean, now brands have full-on content studios,
There we go. We're in one today.
And if you're naturally good at that, then like you're in luck, because I think it demands a lot of you. So
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I could talk for days and days on Tori and stuff.
I know. Unfortunately for my ADD, I don't want to say ADD listeners, but for people listening, they're like, okay,
no, I love
35 minutes. I'm making breakfast or I'm on my walk.
I love that yours are so short.
Yeah.
And that you like just get right to the heart of it.
Thank you.
Thank you for
so
having
excited.
Me. It looks amazing.
I can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This was so fun.
Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Before you head out, I wanted to invite you to our brand new YouTube channel for all things Superwomen. It's a fresh space we're building out for 2026, packed with past episodes, future episodes, and some special new content we're cooking up. Just search Superwomen Media on YouTube and subscribe so you're there for everything coming next. I will see you over there. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, take a second to rate and review the show wherever you're tuning in. It really helps others find the podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at Rebecca Minkoff and at RM Superwomen, or for a slice into my personal life at Becky Minkoff. And don't forget to check out my book, Fearless, The New Rules for Unlocking Creativity, Courage, and Success. See you next week.